Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Good Doc Talk Stocks. I am your host, yours truly, Dr. Mike TV. Y'all know the rules. Don't only get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get your stocks up as well, because guess what? Our wealth will not build itself. Ladies and gentlemen, get your stocks up t-shirt now available now in email format, because I'd rather you email me and I can put together a shirt for you guys. You can check out my email link in the description area below. If you guys are interested in getting you a shirt, I'll ship that bitch out to you immediately. I was going to use Teespring as the platform. Something ended up happening, and now I told myself, you know what, let me go ahead and just create my own damn shirt, and I'll just send it out to you guys. If you guys are interested, link in the description area below for my email, so that you guys can hit me up if you guys are interested in getting a shirt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you guys real quick about growth stocks. Now, growth stocks are iffy in my opinion. I told you guys recently that I've kind of transitioned my my stock portfolio from a more dividend heavy stock to a more growth stock, to a more growth heavy stock position, because, you know, I'm trying to see if I can build my wealth a little bit quicker over time. And I kind of feel like stocks or companies that are dividend based are likely not going to grow as fast as something that is growth, something that is brand new, something that has another 5 or 10 years or so of growth ahead of them. So that's been my position over the last few months, or since the turn of the year, that I've really been kind of focused on and heavy on. But I wanted to talk to you guys about growth stocks and when you actually should sell your growth stocks. Now, everybody has their own way. All right, everybody has their own vision. Everybody has their own mission on how they choose growth stocks. But I want you guys to understand, if you aren't understanding of this now, you need to put this in your mind immediately. Let's say, for example, you buy a stock at $10. It grows to $20. You made a $10 profit. But we already know, guys, that you don't make that profit until you actually choose to sell. It might look good on a screen, but until you actually opt to sell that stock or some of your positions in that particular stock, guess what? It's just a number on the screen. Okay, so you have to pick and choose your points of when you're going to sell and when you're going to hold for the long term. Now, for myself, over the years, I have tried to follow a rule of thumb that has been, somewhat successful for myself. Unfortunately, I will have to note this as of the recording of this video, some of my growth stocks are not doing as well. It's just one of those things that we go through. It's just one of those down times in the market wherein if you sell it while it's at the bottom, you panic sell, you're going to take an L on your cash. So I'm looking to ride this bitch out for as long as I can. Okay. But sometimes you go through it, ladies and gentlemen. And right now I'm going through it. So some of my growth positions are down a little bit heavier than most. And when I say down a little bit heavier than most, we're talking about 35%, 25%, and within those range in the negative as opposed to the positive. And in my mind, I was like, yo, when these motherfuckers post positive at any point, I'm getting out of them. That was my thought. But then I was like, nah, Doc, you might want to just hold it out, see what's going to happen with it in the future. And the first question that I asked myself when it comes to the selling of a growth stock, this is the one question that I ask myself all the time. Do I need the money right now? Okay. That is a very important question. I think you guys should ask yourself, do you need the money right now? If the answer is no, then don't fuck with the stock. Just let it ride out. Let it ride out. The second question is, have I gained enough money on this particular stock to where if I sell out of it, I've basically reached my goal? I said, if I made X amount on this growth stock, I'm good to go. I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. If you've reached your goal or you've made enough money to where you're satisfied with it and you're looking to get into something new, that's also the caveat, looking to get into something new. Are you ready to sell right now? So these are like two personal questions I think you should always ask yourself when it comes to the selling of a growth stock. Do I need the money right now? Maybe for an emergency, or you just ain't got it on you right now. And, you looking at this stock, this isn't something you planned on holding for long term, maybe just for the short term, even though short term should be no less than a year at least. And it's already done its goal. Are you ready to go ahead and sell that stock? and get out of it completely because you need the money for something else? Or have you already reached your goal and you've made as much money as you had already previously planned to reach for it? Now, the thing about the stock market is it's unpredictable. We can read all and research all the information that we want to. Shout out to all of my analytical guys out there, especially my brother Dollar Will. He's always been on my ass about analytics. So I wanted to make sure I shouted him out in this video. Hope that he gets this shout out. But for my brothers who are into analytics, maybe they can predict, what a stock should be projected to reach at a certain time. And as long as they're following their algorithms and, everything that's going on in the news, chances are they can predict price points for certain stocks. But for those who are just like, okay, well, I've reached my point and I'm not necessarily sure if this stock is going to go up or if it's going to go down tomorrow. But I know that as of today, as of the closing of the market on whatever day that it is, and you have the opportunity to go ahead and get out of it before the market opens on the next day. If you've already reached a point where you're satisfied with the money that you've made on your growth stock, sell it. Now, if you're a young investor, I don't want you to take that money out the market. I would encourage you, like I probably would, or like I've been doing with a lot of my growth stocks over the year. I've been taking my money out of my growth stock and pivoting it to a dividend stock. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, I'm holding 50 shares of a stock. 50 shares and my profit margins are dope. Like I'm happy, I'm satisfied with the money that I made on it. I have two options. What I normally would do, this is just normally, I would take out my initial investment. Let's say my initial investment was $1,000 and now my stock is worth like $1,300 or something, just at some price points that are easy to maintain and understand. I'll take out the $1,000 that I invested and I'd probably shift that into something else. That way that the only thing that's working for me on that growth stocks is the profits. Now, am I shorting myself in the long run? Who knows? Am I really underhanding myself by saying, okay, you only have $300 worth of shares in the market right now because you're only working off of your profits? You're not going to make as much money as potentially you could if you would have kept all the money into the stock. Yes, there is a potential for that to happen. If I just take out the $1,000 that I put in and just, put that $1,000 to something else and just work off of the profits. But then again, my thought process is if I lose the $300, at least I didn't lose $300 of my own physical money. I just lost the money that I made in the profits or the gains that I made off of that stock. Is it a good method to use? It depends. So that's one way to go about it. The other way that I would go about it is maybe if it comes to the point where I want to sell because I want to take some money off the top, I'll probably basically just cut my share holdings in half. So if I had 50, maybe I'll sell off like 25 shares and then I'll just keep the rest in regardless of what it is. It just depends on how much money I made on it. I'm trying never to sell while the market is down. I think I would literally have to be at my wit's end with a particular stock for me to actually sell it on the way down or for me to sell it while it's down. I literally need that money right now and I'm willing to take a loss. If you're willing to take a loss, you can sell when it's down. I'm just not that guy. If you believe in the company, you got to stick with it. Now, just because you believe in the company doesn't mean you have to keep flooding more money into that particular stock if you don't want to. Me, I've opted to hold off on putting more money into a stock right now if I'm just waiting to see what position or where it's going to go in the near term. And the reason that is because I can't predict how this stock is going to move. I hoped that it would move in the right direction, but if it doesn't, I'm not really comfortable with continuing to pour money into a stock and hopefully praying that it turns around. Granted, there's a high potential chance it will turn around. It's just when, it's a matter of when. And everybody says, man, the market is a long-term game, guys. This is a marathon, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a sprint. The market is a marathon. The market is not a sprint. But damn, that marathon be hitting hard when your numbers are down 35% in your portfolio. And even the worst, not even the worst, even the best of the best money managers or whatever have no problem selling at the bottom. Matter of fact, let's talk about Warren Buffett. Y'all remember Warren Buffett? Back during the pandemic, he sold off all of his shares in the airline industry and he took a loss on it. He did. He didn't care. He took a loss on it, but still he had like hundreds of billions of dollars. So that really didn't matter. But he took a loss on his shares of stocks in the airplane industry. And it was weird though, because if you think about it, when he initially bought in, the airline industry was high. Like the price for the stocks of airline industries were high. I think he was in Southwest and one other company. I can't remember off the top of my head. But when he sold it at a loss. So like I said, it's all about your threshold and your tolerance. Buffett has made billions of dollars in the market. You know, he's one of the gurus in this game. But what I'm learning and what I'm noticing is, if you really want this to work for you, you got to know your threshold, guys. And I'm almost at mine. Like, damn, if I lose any more money, I'm about to smash on, I'm about to spaz on the bitch. That's what I feel like, but I can't do it. All right. So when it comes to growth stock investing, there are a couple of questions you got to ask yourself before you sell. Number one, do I need the money right now? If you need the money right now, sell it. Number two, have I reached my goal? Have I made as much money as I kind of predicted that I would make on it? And now it's either time to move on to something new, or to just take out my profits. Take out my initial investment and then try to find something new to get into and just run off the profits. You know, those are a couple of questions that I think you want to ask yourself. Number three, if you're at a loss right now, how much lower is this thing going to go until I can no longer take it? Has it gotten to the point where you can no longer take it? I don't encourage you to sell at the bottom, but if you feel like you have to because you're not sure exactly how much money you stand to lose if you keep holding on to it, get out. All right, just don't hurt yourself anymore. All right, that is my video for today, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope that you found some value in it. I hope that you guys have kind of rethought the way that you think about growth stock investing. Again, you don't really think about these things when you're into dividend investing, because when the stock goes low, you're like, oh shit, bitch, flood. I'm putting more money into that because I know I'm gonna make my dividends off of it anyways, for the most part, unless it really starts to drop dramatically, and then you have to think about whether that company is on the verge of a bankruptcy or something like that. But with dividend stocks, these are normally not your thought process. It's only with your growth stocks wherein you don't get anything from it until you sell it. And that's always been the catch-22 with growth stocks, man. It's always been a catch-22. You never want to sell too early and miss out on profits, but you never want to sell too late and then you end up having to sell at a loss, or you break even. Nobody's in this game to break even. I don't know about you guys. I'm not in this bitch to break even. I'm in this for the long term, and I'm definitely in it to make some profits. All right, just to break even doesn't help me at all. It's just, I just wasted my time just to make $0 in the process. Nah, not feeling that at all. So, think about your growth investing strategies, and then think about those questions and see where your selling point is. We all have a buying point, as low as we possibly can, but think about your selling point. Think about where you want to sell it at in order to make some moolah, baby. Young moolah. All right, this has been a good doc. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. And remember, don't only get the likes up, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get your stocks up as well, because guess what? Our wealth will not build itself. You dig? Stay blessed, stay true. Doc is out. Peace.